The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No, me, no, the voice, no guys. Me, really, villain, rough, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. I just have to say, yet again, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be talking about this for a while. So if you're annoyed of it, I'm sorry. But I am pretty sure when we went off the air, we had yet another injury. Did we talk about Jaden Ivey yesterday? Did we get to that? I don't think we got to that.
I think you did talk about Ivy yesterday.
I just the Pistons love that I have is just evaporating. What do you mean you're out 4 weeks? What do you mean an unrelated fibula injury? What? Why? Advanced analytics nerd Lonte Smith. Lonte, what's going on?
Not much, man. It was a couple other injuries as well. Joel Embiid was saying like he is hopeful.
Hopeful?
Yeah.
What do you mean you're hopeful?
Yeah. It's a lot of stuff going on in the NBA with these injuries. So
You've had a whole off season. What do you mean you're hopeful?
Yeah, it's weird. So man, I'm just last weekend before NBA starts. So man, I'm ready to rock and roll.
I almost said a slur. Go play. What are we doing? Yo, I just don't get and I understood. I get what you're saying. If the 76ers are healthy, they have a good chance to be really good. But, dog, how do we have any faith? What do you mean you're hopeful? Hopeful? What do you mean you're hopeful? Also, if we just add to everything, because I'm pretty sure we went off air at 3 p.m. Listen to the Underdog updates since 3 p.m. Well, hit the button. So we had the Joel Embiid hopeful to play. We had Moses Moody doubtful for the regular season opener. And then Jaden Ivey knee procedure missing at least. It is a timetable of 4 weeks. At least 4 weeks. Lonte. Turn injuries off, man. Just turn them off. Let's watch these guys play ball.
Definitely.
Very annoying. All right. You see it. Talking MVP, talking a little defensive player of the year. We're about to get into all of that. But first, I got to remind you all that the NHL is back and you can go get picks and all of that with Ryan and Joel as they break down the biggest games, storylines, awards, and best bets throughout the entire hockey season over there at the Hockey Gambling Podcast. Yes, we have a Hockey Gambling Podcast. Go tap in. It's a lot of winners over there. Lock in with them. All right. Let's start with Defensive Player of the Year here, Lonte. So, yet another award category where we do have a minus favorite, overarching favorite that everybody is pretty certain is going to win the award. But years pass, injuries, all these other things happen. You could potentially have a diamond in the rough come about. So, notable names that are 150 to 1 and more. Jared Allen, Jalen Duren, Jaden McDaniels, all 150 to 1. Nick Claxton's 20 to 1. Joel Embiid, not 20 to 1, 200 to 1. Joel Embiid is 200 to 1. Kawhi Leonard's 200 to 1. Bilal Coulibaly is 200 to 1. Alex Caruso's 200 to 1. Scotty Barnes is 250 to 1. Kristaps Porzingis 250 to 1. Jimmy Butler 250 to 1. That's about what you're looking at in that range right there, Lonte. This can be quick. We do not have to spend a lot of time on this at all. But is there anybody down there that's like, there you go. I'll throw a little cash there.
Not one person. Not one person. I mean, I wouldn't throw $1 on it.
Oh man. Man,
Not one person, bro.
y'all got KD, but we got Jake McDaniels.
Nah, I mean, I can't. I can't see. I can't see it. Can't see it.
No, I feel it. I am not interested in that bottom of the. No, I probably would. Like for the plot, I probably throw it on Jaden McDaniels, but like I'm not interested in that far down the line at all. A little also further down the beaten path here of candidates, you've got Donovan Clingan 101, Derek White 101, Miles Turner 101, OG Anunoby 101, Zach Edey 101, Jalen Williams, J Dub is 90 to 1. Simone Camara is 90 to 1. Let's go ahead and stop that tier there. Another big, heavy dog tier here. Is there a name that you're just like, man, hey, let me just toss one over there?
Yeah, I like Tumani Kamara.
Okay.
I think he's a really good defensive player. Obviously, he checks all the advanced analytics stuff. If you look into that, a lot of the writers who like vote for this award love Tumani Kamara. They love his versatility, his switchability. He's going to be on a good defensive team. So I think that's a part of it. And if that team is ascending, like we talked about yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
I really think that he'll be more on notice to get more national attention. But media loves him. He's got good. He's got good metrics. He rebounds the ball well, protects the paint, defends on the perimeter. So, Tumani Kamara at 90 to 1 is pretty interesting as for me.
All right. I like that. I think that if I was looking here, if because guards really don't win this. And so if I'm looking at Derek White and I'm looking at this Boston Celtics team, and it's 100 to 1 flyer, because OG I would think is interesting, but I just think the Knicks overall is just going to kind of take away shine from there. But like, if this team is really good, it's going to be off of the play of Jaylen Brown and Derek White. And as much as I hate the Boston Celtics, if they somehow just Joe Mazzulla coaches a great year, they're actually not bad as some people are pegging them to be. And it's probably off the back of Jaylen Brown close to, if not already having a scoring title doing that. And then they're going to play really good defense. And Derek White is probably going to be the anchor point where they constantly look at it, that defense of what he's able to do and help them out on the perimeter. So, I could talk myself into a little bit of a 100 to 1 little flyer on a Derek White and just say in an NBA season where the injuries are just insane to start the year and they could possibly get worse as the year goes on. Somebody wild like Derek White could possibly have a chance. So yeah, I see that for a long shot there, but I think that's about it for me in that section. Let's keep it on moving. We got Walker Kessler 75 to 1, Asar Thompson 60 to 1, Giannis is 60 to 1. Really? Zubac is 60 to 1, Rudy Gobert 60 to 1, SGA 60 to 1, and Jalen Suggs is 50 to 1. That's here for you.
Yeah, a couple of guys in that tier. First off, just starting off at 50 to 1. I know we talked about the guards not winning it, but Jalen Suggs is definitely a contender.
If there's one, it could be him too.
Yeah, I mean they're going to be an elite defensive team as they have been for recent years. I think he's a catalyst for that. You saw the defensive numbers fall off a little bit, especially how they defended the perimeter whenever he went down. So his impact is already baked in, and it's proven that he improves that defense. They don't have a ton of on-ball defenders that can just guard the best player night in and night out. And then with their win total being what it is, they're going to be on national TV. They're going to be relevant, probably fighting for a top 3 seed in the East. So Suggs is one of those guys that I do think has some value as well. I'm trying to think of who else that you said.
We got so I'll talk about.
Yeah, go ahead, do yours, and I could just look.
We talked Suggs, SGA, Gobert, Zubac, Giannis, Alsar, Walker Kessler. Alsar, this is his role. that wing role is his role, and if he takes another step forward defensively, because I saw some really good moments, and he's really been battling the staying on the court issue, and then the ascension of the Pistons. But like, I mean, Ivy's now missing time. This also opens up more role of just being on the court and adding that defensive pressure on the court. And if he starts the season off really hot defensively, JB Bickerstaff is not going to turn that off. He's going to give him the opportunity throughout the rest of the entire season. So again, not saying he's going to stone cold lot to get it, but if you tell me 60-1 for a player that I think is going to be on a team that is on the rise and could potentially really make noise in the East, that will also play hard defensively for their coach, and he could be the star defensive player of that. Yeah, I'd take a shot on that.
Yeah, I can get behind that as well. Zoo is the other one that I was looking at, 60-1. I think that's too big of a number for a guy who was probably I don't know if he was a finalist, but he was in the top 5 in voting last year. I mean, the Clippers defensively went whenever he was on the floor, their numbers skyrocketed. I think the defense for them under Jeff Van Gundy has been improved. He's obviously not going to, block shots like Wemby or, lock up on the perimeter. But what he does is protect the paint. And I think that's valued. I've heard several voters like Tim Bontemps, McMahon. I heard those guys talk about how they only vote for big men. Like that's just what they do. They don't vote for guards because they don't feel like they impact the game as big men do. So, I mean, that's an advantage right there for Zubac. At 60-1 for a guy who, I mean, was he on the all defensive team, if I'm not mistaken? Like, I think
let's go double check.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I know he finished pretty high in the ratings, and he was like a top 3 candidate for a while whenever those injuries happened to Jaren Jackson.
He was on the all defensive second team last year.
Yeah, that's too large for a guy that finished that well defensively. So yeah,
actually, all of the second team guys have really nice odds, believe it or not. Camera, I mean, I'm not counting Gobert, but J-Dub as well. Yeah. Take a step forward, and could be somebody that you're looking at. I'm curious on how many people won the award and were like second team the year before and took that next leap. I have to look into that. Oh, whoa, wrong button. Don't exit out of this stream. All right, here we go. Let's get into the next tier here. Bam Adebayo at 40-1, Draymond Green at 40-1, Jaren Jackson Jr. at 40-1, Lou Dort at 40-1, Anthony Davis at 30-1. We'll cut it off there. So, is there any hope that Asia taught Bam some game?
Well, he's already a hell of a defender. I think 40 is too low. I think the same thing about Bam as I do with Zoo. Like, he's a perennial all defensive type of player.
And it's like he's gonna get it one year, right?
Yeah, he's gonna break through and get it. When he was the favorite, I think it was co-favorites whenever Wemby went down and whenever James Jackson went down.
I was sitting there and I was like, oh, great, because I think I got Bam at like, and plus these are really long odds. I feel like there was like a 12-1. In years, Bam has been like 12-1 to win the award. Right. And so 40-1 at Bam just looks kind of crazy just seeing it, knowing that like, man, if Wemby goes down, like Bam can win the award. Like, and it feels like they want to get Bam one, but it's just always been like, somebody, Rudy Gobert, freaking Wemby comes along, and now this is the thing everybody's talking about. But like, it feels like Bam should get one day.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, so I looked at his odds. I like Anthony Davis. He's going to be in his premier role. You can find 35-1 actually, but 30 is fine. 30 is fine as well. I mean, I talked about it with Scott when we previewed the Western Conference. I think him being back at the 4 position, being around all that like length with Derek Lively, with Gafford, obviously you got Flag as well. He's going to be allowed to do more roaming, similar to what we saw with Jaren Jackson Jr. And see in his year, he was just able to roam and clean up a lot of the misses, a lot of blocks. So AD, I mean, he's obviously a perennial all defensive player. The only pushback obviously would be the games played threshold, but he doesn't have to play down low and be as physical as he typically has been for the Lakers when he was the only big. Now he has younger, more
Lively,
athletic guys,
Gafford.
yeah, to play and kind of take out some of uh, that I guess that effort from the offensive players. So yeah, I like AD a lot at this price.
All right. I like AD too. Uh Not really. I would love to sell myself on Lou Dort, but I can't. And Jaren Jackson Jr., the health is just never going to do it for me. I'm sorry. You got to play 65 games, and I'm not 100% certain Jaren Jackson Jr. plays 65 games. All right, let's close this out. Dyson Daniels is 22-1. Amin Thompson's 14-1. Evan Mobley's 9-1. Chet Holmgren at plus 650. And the overarching favorite, Victor Wembanyama at minus 175. Okay, Lonte. So we all know if Wemby plays an entire season, or even majority, as long as he hits the threshold, he's winning the award. There's nothing that's going to change that. I mean, I think that it would take an all-world defensive performance, and I still don't think that they would ever give it to anybody other than Wemby. So, with that being said, this is all banking on injury.
Yeah, pretty much.
And so, what do you like here that's non-Wemby? Because
Um,
I
Mo,
think, first of all, do you agree it's
yeah,
Wemby?
one
Or
hundred percent, 100%.
all
Yeah,
right.
100%. I mean, his numbers are ridiculous. Like, and like some of the stuff that he does that won't even allow like show up in the box score. Like guys, I can remember, those that play where they were on a 3-on-1 and he was in the paint and they kind of just kicked it out because they didn't want to go to the rim. Like
Mhm.
that kind of effect. So you can't just quantify
You
that.
see the guys dribbling underneath the rim and
Right.
taking it
Yeah.
to the other side of the court because they're not going up against them.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, I completely agree with you. Same thing we said about the Cooper Flag thing. Like, if he stays healthy, he's gonna win the award. But I mean, history shows that he doesn't. That when he doesn't stay healthy, so it's probably value in other guys. I would look at Evan Mobley. I mean, I don't think Dyson Daniels is gonna repeat. I think it was kind of a surprise that he actually won it. To be quite honest, last year, the
Mhm.
odds reflected that as well. So Evan Mobley for the same. I mean, Evan Mobley and Bam are literally the same type of defender.
Mhm.
Who was better can be debated, but Bam will be on a lesser team. Cavs will be contending, so you'll see Evan Mobley more. He'll be asked to do more on the defensive end. He's also got the benefit of playing alongside Jared Allen, which allows him to be another like roamer and block shots on the blind side. So I think Mobley has good value at 9-1.
I just think the back-to-back angle for Mobley is the thing that makes me nervous because he did win it. And that's what I was waiting for. I was playing it every year. Like, I believe in Evan Mobley, the talent of the player. Like, he can win Defensive Player of the Year. And uh, it broke right that last year. And I would love to say, injury, oh, just throw it back to Mobley. But, guys like to spread this around sometimes. So,
Yeah, this Defensive Player of the Year award, it's one of the only awards where they don't mind giving it to
yeah,
guys
the
who won
same
it
guy
already.
again.
Yeah, like look at Rudy Gobert. I think about
Yeah,
with Dwight
yeah,
Howard. Dwight Howard obviously deserving.
yeah.
Yes, just so they don't mind. This award is one of those awards. The other ones they do, like especially the one that we'll get into in a few. But this one they don't mind giving it to a guy who won it a year ago, 2 years ago, or whatever. But yeah, I get your point though.
Yeah, I think that's my only thing staying away from Mobley is that he just got it. I feel it. They are, and I really do like it. But now it's at 9-1, and I was playing Evan Mobley when he was, north of that 20-1 and stuff like that. Like, so I'm really not interested in anybody. Honestly, anybody in this spectrum. Like, I think the value for me is if Wemby goes down and all the 40-1, 50-1, 60-1 kind of guys just kind of breaking right and having that great defensive season and getting rewarded for it. So, all right, that's about it on that for me. We will get to MVP in just a second. But first, got to talk to you about mybookie.ag, your place to bet every single sport. The NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB still going on. Their motto is bet on anything, anywhere, anytime. Easy deposit and get lightning fast payouts using cryptocurrency. Head over to mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN for your 100% bet back bonus up to $500 for new customers. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig's you're getting the best prices on the market. So head over there and lock in on Novig. Available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. So Novig is supported in the state of Georgia. If you are in Georgia, go lock in. SGPN is the promo code with a Novig. All right. MVP, 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 MVP. Very interesting. I think in years past, it has been essentially the people at the top. Maybe some, Henderson in there, but for the most part, very top heavy award in years past. But let's talk about the fun because there's a lot of fun to be had here. I will not do us the luxury of running through the 250 to 500 to 1 players. However, I have to say, you are crazy degenerate if you're dipping your toe into that range, because I tried to make the case for myself with a lot of those players and it just didn't happen. So we'll start here at 180 to 1. Devin Booker, Steph Curry at 150 to 1, LeBron James at 150 to 1. I'm actually crazy that they both had the same odds. Ja Morant at 120 to 1. Wow. Do you remember the time? Like, look at the time now where Ja Morant is 120 to 1 to win MVP, bro. Paolo Banchero at 100 to 1, Trae Young at 100 to 1, Zion Williamson at 100 to 1, Anthony Davis at 100 to 1, Donovan Mitchell 100 to 1, Jaylen Brown 100 to 1, and Joel Embiid 100 to 1. So let's just go ahead and get the triple digits out the way here, Lonte.
Yes, a couple of
Joel,
guys I like in this
okay,
range.
let's do it.
Yes. So we'll start off with the 150. I think is what you said. For like Steph,
Yep.
I think that's outrageous. I mean, Steph's impact is like, I mean, it's documented what he does, and obviously he has a full offseason with Jimmy Butler. So I think
Mm-hmm.
some of the workload will be kind of off of him, and he'll be able to kind of do a little bit less, but be more efficient in what he does. Playing with his brother does a little bit as well because they adds even more spacing on the floor. Seth can still shoot it regardless of him bouncing around at different places. He's always shot at a high level. But I'm a buyer in the Warriors this year, so I think they can contend to be like a top 4, top 5 seed. And if they are going to have that type of success, I think Steph is going to streamline that. So I like Steph at 150. I absolutely love Paolo at 100. Love Paolo at 100. I mean, essentially, he is what Jason Tatum is for the Celtics. He's just in a lower market. He does similar things. Plays a little bit better defense. Rebound. Jason Tatum rebounds the ball really well in the postseason. He doesn't really do it in the regular season, but Paolo also does it in the regular season. He defends. He can block shots. I mean, he's going to put up the numbers. He's going to be efficient. He's not a 3-point guy, so he's going to get to the line. A contending team in the East. So, yeah, him at 100, I think that's decent. I actually, these are the two guys so I had on my list, like up list to bet. So, Steph, Paulo. I looked at Donovan. I mean, I can see it. It's pathways there, but
Mm-hmm.
I think that due to what happened at the end of the year with the Cavs, like injuries, I think they'll be like load managing him along the way, and he won't play as much as you are going to play. He'll meet the threshold, but like numbers wise, I just don't think it'll be there because they want to save him for the postseason. So those are the two guys that I looked at in that range for MVP that I think are pretty valuable, to be honest.
All right. I took the approach of looking at this like I'm curious. It's a media based award, and you also have to have just the narrative of the media liking you, like very interested in you. And so I go back and I look at how the media views players different than how fans or how the players view players. And the best way to look at that is just continuously going through the NBA All-Star voting and looking at the different ranks of the fans, players, media, and just understanding where kind of everybody is viewed. And so I always thought it was interesting how Trey Young would be so high in the media and the fan vote, and the players would more or less be down on him in some years. And I get it. It's it was the foul thing for a long time. They didn't really like the style of play, but like the media has some type of like interest, like they are interested in Trey Young. So if you tell me that Trey Young does what he always does, which is pretty much lead the league in assists, he continues the scoring output for an entirety of a season instead of just those few stretch of games where he's scoring 30. If he does that for the entirety of a season as well, I think it is really, really hard to ignore a Trey Young that could be at the top of the conference and also potentially average 30 and lead the league in assists. And so that's where 100-1 on Trey Young. As much as I really, I'm not the biggest Trey Young guy. I just got to look at it from a very unbiased standpoint of, I mean, he has the opportunity to put up stats, and he's on a team that's being regarded as one of those teams that could sneak out and win the East. So Trey Young at 100-1 is interesting.
I like Trey too, but you can find 150.
There we go.
I
150.
love Trey. I love Trey as well. But I mean, exactly what you just said. I mean, you just broke it down perfectly. And we talked about it yesterday. I think the Hawks are going to be a player to possibly be a 1 seed in the East. So if they are a 1 seed and he does, I mean, he's a pretty much walking like 20 and 10. Like he's a walking 20 and 10.
If he just next level, if he just goes next level with that, like it's really hard to ignore.
Yeah, I agree.
And even if it doesn't win, you're probably getting an amazing opportunity to either hedge, cash out, like whatever floats your boat, sell the ticket, whatever floats the boat with that. Like you'd have a really great opportunity with that if he drops to somewhere like 5-1. Where are we at? Anthony Davis, also another person, 101. And if this Mavs team is really legit, and it all like I thought them getting Anthony Davis was a really good move, and they really, really like. I get losing Luka, but getting Anthony Davis is never anything to slouch about, and it's just the health. That's the only reason that gets me with him. It's like, oh, dude, like it's at this point it's a meme. At this point, it's a meme. We know. He said, "I don't want to play the 5. Is a lot more on the body." We know. You struggling down there. I'm so glad that you got some 5s to play with, so you don't feel like that you put yourself in harm's way. Now, can you please go out there and be a bucket, please, and stay healthy, please, pretty please. I actually enjoy watching Anthony Davis play basketball. That's the only reason. Trey Young is really the person that really, really intrigues me out of that section, though. I think that how players feel about him, and then how, because I'm around a lot of New York fans, how New York fans feel about him is not indicative that he could very well win the award if a couple of things break right for him. All right, next group. Jalen Brunson, 50-1. Kevin Durant, 45-1. Really? Cade Cunningham, 30-1. Anthony Edwards, 20-1. And we'll leave it at that. Kevin Durant at 45-1 is actually shocking.
In which way?
In how I just assume, like, I would assume he's in the 100-1 range with all those other names.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I don't know what Kevin Durant did to get to 45-1, and Jaylen Brown, who could potentially lead the league in scoring, is at 100-1. Anthony Davis 101, Paolo Banchero 100. Well, I just figured he would have been in that tier right there. At least that's how I view him. For me, it's Brunson. I mean, if Brunson just continues to go on a tear, Brunson clearly shown that he can average 30 over a season. Like, for me, it's Brunson. And maybe it's the pulling New York out of obscurity to some crazy 1 seed, or they'd be really, really good at that all on top. But 50-1 is just insane for a person that is literally talked about in MVP discussions every year.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. I just don't like any of these players at this number. I mean, the Brunson thing makes sense. the thing with that is I just don't like how much better can he get? You know what I'm saying? Like because he doesn't unless he like raises his assist average and like rebound average, like
You probably
maybe
need others. You need others to not be there.
yeah
I will
that
say that you need
yeah,
others
because
not
he's
to be
gonna
there.
score like that's not an issue. He's gonna score, and I mean if they do get that one seed, that will be really beneficial for him. But again, like if he's gonna average essentially the same thing as he did last year, is really not. I mean, we know he's valuable, and that's just not what the award is
Hmm.
based on. The award is basically who has the best season.
Yeah,
Like it's not who's most valuable. It's who has the best season. Like
but and here's my counter for, and we'll talk about people at the top, but just to kind of tease, SGA has been in the past hard to be available at times. He has done better as of late, but what if he were to revolt back to that? Uh, it could be some crazy fluke accident with like a Jokic. Like I could see different ways where I'm like, oh, this broke right in Jalen Brunson's direction, and I'd much rather have a 50-1 Jalen Brunson ticket. And in case that happens, then be like, oh dang, I didn't think that all these people would get hurt, and I'm not sitting on a Brunson ticket. But like, yeah, it's definitely going to take other people to not be there. I agree with that. All right. Last year, Victor Wembanyama 12-1, Giannis 11-1, Luca is plus 380, SGA is plus 275, and Jokic is 220.
man, I like I want to bet. I want to bet Joker because they wanted to give the award to Joker last year. They wanted to, and we talked about Denver. Me and Scott talked about Denver. Like I believe they're going to be like the best, one of the best teams in the NBA. Like next year, I really
They
do.
did make some very good additions in offseason.
Yeah, they upgraded their roster. Now again, I guess the counter to that would be well, it's going to be less on Joker. I mean, it doesn't matter. Joker's going to be Joker at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And if he's around the same, like what if he averages triple double, one seed? They're going to give it to him. I mean, I just can't bet 220. And same with Luca. Like I think Luca has a chance to lead the league in scoring, especially with LeBron being down. This is essentially the same team that he had in Dallas.
Yep. Hey, that's literally my point. He's literally playing with
Yeah,
Dallas Mavericks again.
except for he's in a bigger market, a market that's going to play a lot more nationally televised games, a market
Mhm.
that is going to actually showcase. What I mean, obviously, him being in Dallas showcase, but not. It's the Lakers. Obviously, the Lakers are a worldwide brand. So yeah, I mean, I just that number 380. Like I would bet 5-1. I mean, I just can't bet 380.
I have to put something on Wemby at 12-1. I mean, if he's healthy, he he could stumble into the award. He's getting better every time it feels like I watch him on the court. I'm like, man, he actually did get better. And it's getting to the point where I'm about to be like, okay, the hype is legit. Like the hype is legit real. This guy is really, really like that. And it's just taking, of course it's gonna take time. He's got to grow into his body and all of that. And he's still really, really young. But like the numbers night in, night out overall, it's just the winning. You got to win. You got to win basketball games. And I don't know how many basketball games the Spurs are going to win. But again, things break right for a lot of guys because ultimately I do think it's Jokic, if I'm being honest. I think this is all going to end up into Jokic getting yet another MVP. Maybe not the buyers, but the voter fatigue plays a part still. But ultimately, it kind of does feel like it's going to be Jokic there at the top of the standings. And so now I'm just kind of hoping and pulling for long shots.
Yeah, I mean that's well said. That's well said. I just think that I mean it's going to be so tough. The Wimby thing is real. Also, you could find a little bit better than 12. Also,
Mm-hmm.
because I looked at him and I'm thinking like, man, if he is, bro, he's just so like good on both sides of the ball, offensively, defensively, and just to think like he hasn't even scratched the surface of what he can be offensively. He doesn't shoot the
Yeah.
ball well.
Yeah.
He typically is kind of in bad situations where his teammates don't get him the ball in the right places. Now he has a point guard, De'Aaron Fox. He has Dylan Harper. He has a full offseason with these guys where they can develop a rapport. So if he stays healthy, I love that when we play by you for sure. I'll be dropping something down on that bet as well.
All right, we'll close things out here with best bets, but I gotta talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 500 times your entry simply picking higher or lower your favorite players' fantasy stats. Just get over there, lock in for all the different sports they have. We will be having Underdog fired up for the NBA regular season next week. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you use the sign-up code, promo code NBA SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Can't wait to see what they got cooking up in the NBA because they are absolutely torching things in college football and NFL right now. Also giving out weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. So go track 5 bets from the same type from any model you build, and you could win $1,000. Just like that. Just like that. So promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm and use promo code SGPN25. All right, Lonte, let's get into it. Defensive Player of the Year, MVP, best bets. What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'll give just like a regular shot and then a long shot for both. For Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going AD at 35-1 as that's one of the ones that I like. And then longer shot to Monty Kamara at 90-1. I think that's both of those guys are really good value. MVP wise, we didn't talk about him, but I do love Giannis at 12-1. I know you're not the Bucks guy. Because I talked about Doc Rivers, but I do think that the East is wide open, man. Like outside of if you tell me, okay, Cavs, fine, Knicks, fine, Magic, fine. And the Philly's just kind of a wild card. I trust Giannis to be better than those other teams in the East. I really do. So Detroit maybe it's probably a coin flip between them and Detroit. I know you're higher on Detroit than I am, but yeah, I think Giannis. He's going to put up the numbers, and probably a little bit more so now with no Drew Holiday, no Chris Middleton, no Brook Lopez. He's going to put up monster numbers. So if he can average 30 plus and 12, 13 rebounds, the defense is going to be there. They can be a top 4, top 5 seed. I like Giannis at 12-1. So Giannis at 12-1 would be my other one. I'm going to take a long shot with Steph at 150. So we talked about it earlier, so I don't want to regurgitate it, but that's a monster number for a guy who has as much impact on the game as any specific player, night in and night out. So if he's able to stay healthy, which Steph has stayed pretty healthy throughout his career, outside of the ankle injuries early on, I think he can be in that discussion late, and that's all you want. That's all you want is to be in discussion to make that number go from 150 to 25 or 30. So I like Steph at that number.
All right, for me, Defensive Player of the Year, pretty simple. A'ja Wilson is on fire right now. She is the thing that everybody's talking about. And Bam is attached to her. So things could break right for Bam. And I'm telling you, 40-1 is a wild price for Bam Adebayo, who you could argue is definitely one of the top 5 best defensive players in the league. So I will take Bam at 40-1. I will also take Jalen Suggs because I think he could be the best player on the best defense in the league. And I know it's not a guard award, but I think Jalen Suggs could win people over, especially if this Orlando Magic team starts to do very, very special things this season. I'm taking a lot of flyers here this year, Lonte. A lot of flyers. Maybe not heavy on the unit size, but a lot of flyers. 40-1 and 50-1 for Bam and Suggs, respectively. MVP, it's not as fun. Give me Brunson at 50-1. And yeah, I'm going to play the 12-1 on Wemby, man. I am. Probably not going to get anywhere with it, but I'm sorry, the Jokic, SGA, and Luka prices are it's just not enough for me to make me want to get in here. But if you are interested in just playing the chalk with Jokic, South Carolina women's basketball to win the national championship is gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Just put them together, man. All right, Lonte, anything else for the people before we get up out of here?
You don't like UConn?
Nah, man. I think it's gonna.
They're a strong season.
I think South Carolina is. I think the revenge factor is there. And Asia, I mean not Asia, but Dawn just watched Asia turn around her season and somehow walk out with a chip. I think the South Carolina women's basketball team going to have something to say this year. I do.
Yeah,
I don't think it's a
I'm a
back to
Sarah,
back for UConn. I think they
yeah, I'm a
got that
Sarah Strong
one.
stand, so
Yeah, what?
I'm a Sarah Strong stand, so
Shout out Bull City, Durham, North Carolina. All
is she
right.
from Duke?
Yeah, she's from Durham.
I
She's
thought she
from
was from
Durham.
Duke.
Nah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she's either from Durham or she hurt in Durham, but there is definitely a Durham connection there.
Oh, okay. I thought she was from Fuqua.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. NBA tipping off. I think this is the last episode. Is this the last episode before we get to the regular season next week? I think so. And so, regular season tipping off next week. We will be breaking it down. Me, Lonte, Scott Studio, Reichel, all through the season. Make sure you check it out. Give us a subscribe. YouTube.com/NBA Gambling Podcast. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Like, comment, review, all of that stuff. 5-star review. Please keep the 1 stars to yourself. Other than that, he's at XXLante XX. I am at really real __, and that is it. I have nothing else to say, nothing else.